Hello, welcome to the wonderful world of Waikato Sheds. We're back in Te Awamutu with another episode showing you the process of this passive house coming together. Dave, how are you?
Good, Shane.
Nice. Brian, how are you? Oh, the free one.
The triple.
Nice to meet you. Oh, just get a little John Key in there.
Dave, first up, how's caravan life?
Oh, yeah, it's wearing thin, eh?
Yeah.
It's wearing thin after probably a couple of weeks, and we're nearly a year into it now. So.
Yeah, right. So Dave's doing a lot, something that a lot of our customers do while they're building a house. They decide to live in a caravan or a camper van or a tiny home.
And he has kids, young kids. I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Good time. So good to see come out to the site and see that this place is coming along.
It is.
Pleased about that.
It is. It's trucking along now. We've got traction, and it's really taking off. So that's really good to see. Actually. And
cool.
Being so close with work, I can pop down pretty much every day, much to the builder's disgust.
One of those guys.
I'm one of those guys. Yeah. Every designer is.
Yeah.
If it's close enough, we'll be there every day. Yeah.
So it's obviously come a long way since we were last here. Last time we were here, there was just a concrete slab with some steel frames. We had briefly touched on the insulation that's gone under the slab and to the side of the slab.
That's right.
So that's sort of laying the foundations of a nice, warm, dry house.
That's right.
Now we are here, we've got plenty more things in place. We've got some windows. Shall we quickly touch on a cavity?
Yeah,
So it's a cavity system.
Yeah, so we've got a 20mm cavity, which is pretty typical in New Zealand. So there's a building code E2, which is you can direct fix cladding, and we do it quite often actually, Waikato Sheds and ourselves. Corrugated iron technically forms its own cavity because it's a symmetrical profile, but things like your trapezoidal, which is pretty normal for your roof and walls with Waikato Shed, that actually would have to be on a cavity because it doesn't have enough airflow up and down the profile. So exactly that. A cavity is about having airflow behind the cladding, but between the framing, so that the moisture can be taken out of that space.
So it's more about moisture, isn't it?
It's about damp air condensating and being trapped, and a cavity gets rid of that.
Yeah, cool. Nice. So that's obviously not so much a passive house thing, it's more of just a housing thing, isn't it?
Basically.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So we've got that in place. And also, what do we got?
Joinery.
Fancy joinery.
Yeah, we do. We've got some German Stark UPVC joinery in place now, triple glazed, with low E, argon purged, and there's also a special kind of glass called Light Bridge from Viridian, which cuts out some of the filter gains.
Yeah, right. Bronic's a bit of a joiner from way back. So Bronic, what do you got?
Well,
That's joinery, mate.
I'm used to aluminium joinery. It's the first time I've seen UPVC, but triple glazed, that's next level. That's heavy stuff. And I mean, to give you an idea, we've got builders inside there working away, banging, crashing. You can't hear them. So that's the other beauty about triple glazed, is that it is quiet.
Yeah.
Really quiet. You could probably have a car crash happen outside while you're asleep and you won't even know. So
triple glazed, that's a passive house thing?
Not strictly, but the cost from double glazed to triple glazed, don't get me wrong, there is a cost involved, but the performance increase for me was totally worth the money.
Yeah.
So for instance, the UPVC double glazed, is 0.74 R value, and to go to triple glazed was 0.91.
geez, that's huge.
So these windows, these units outperform most villa walls. What a perspective.
And a crash course on R values for the watchers that don't know what you're talking about.
So R value is resistance value. So it's how well a wall or a product specifically resists heat energy passing through it, basically.
Oh yeah. So higher R value, the better.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then U value, which is the flip side of that, the lower the value.
Right. Okay. And UPVC, so it's plastic essentially.
It is plastic, yes, but the U being U value, the U being UV treated.
Yeah.
Ultimate something.
That's something like that.
So
yeah,
just like
yeah,
kind of
joinery guy. What is the you?
I'm an aluminium joiner.
Oh, you're right. My bad.
But the cool thing I like about these windows is because awning windows, we normally just have awning windows that do one way. These have got all sorts of different things, and they can go. They can open like a normal awning, they can open like a hopper, like that, and they can open like a casement,
Yeah,
all in the one, which I think is really, really. I wish we could show you, but unfortunately we've got scaffolding in the way, and then we've got plastic all over it. So we'll come back and
all in
have a
good
play.
time.
All in good
Episode
time.
3.
Yeah. So every bedroom in this house, other than the master bedroom, has a tilt turn and double hung window. So we've got 1800 by 1800 square windows. They open inwards, and one panel tilts at the top inwards.
Wow.
So it tilt turn one side and then full opening.
Yeah.
For both.
And another exciting thing we've got going on, you may be able to hear it in the distance, we've got some insulation going in, but
We
it's not
do.
your typical insulation,
It
is it?
certainly is not. I couldn't do anything normal. We're doing spray foam with NZ foam. So we're getting into it's a chemical reaction that happens at the nozzle. The two materials mix. They atomize at the nozzle, hit a surface, and expand. And within 5 seconds, the product is set, and that's it. It's there for good.
And what's the appeal to?
So way higher performance. So for the same thickness, spray foam insulation outperforms fiberglass. I mean, I don't have an exact number, but it's pretty significant. I think 90 mil of fiberglass is about 2.2 to 2.8 for the high grade stuff. 90 mil of NZ foam, I think, is about nearly 4.
Yeah, right.
Over 4.
Yeah.
4, I think.
Yeah, cool.
But the other good thing for a passive house is that it seals all your holes,
That's
doesn't
right.
it?
It's watertight once it's up, and it's airtight. Yeah, so we haven't got in this house, we haven't got a airtightness membrane, which is an internal layer that you put on as you're standing frames.
Oh yeah.
Spray foam is doing all that work for us.
So you've obviously gone pretty hard in like trying to keep the place sealed up. Are there any
Yeah.
trade-offs? Like, are there some downsides to spray insulation that you sort of had to sort of work with and sort of accept?
So, well, I mean, we'll get the most awkward part out of the way, I suppose. It's more expensive.
Yeah.
It's approximately 2, not quite 3 times
Oh, yeah.
the cost.
Yeah, right.
But if you think about all the jobs that it's doing, it's obviously insulating the house. It becomes a rigid air barrier. So it's adding to the bracing.
Really?
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
For sure. So once this frame is in, good luck moving it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it sets all of the stud bays and everything are all
Yeah.
rigid foam in between them.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it essentially turns this whole house into a SIPS house.
Yeah.
That's basically what this spray foam is doing. It gets into all the nooks and crannies. There's no gaps. It can't slump.
What about the wiring? Is a question I have.
They've had extensive testing done, and they guarantee it not to mess with your wires or pipes.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah.
So they go in first or after?
The foam.
The cable.
Foam.
The
So you
Some
do all of
cables.
your rough fit off and everything, which we'll have a look at when we go in, no doubt.
Yeah.
And they'll come in after, and they will spray all around it and over the top of it and everything.
Oh, so it's very similar process as to traditional, but
Yeah.
instead of
Yeah.
plonking it in and have fiberglass everywhere, you just spray it.
Exactly. Yeah, they prefer rondo battens not to be up.
And something actually I forgot to mention earlier is behind this paper there is timber.
There is. We've got a
Timber battens.
What's called a structural batten.
Yeah, we would usually use steel. What's the appeal with timber?
So the timber essentially has a higher R value
Oh, yeah.
than steel.
Yeah.
So trying to minimise how much heat energy is transferred is thermal bridging through the buildup. So
It's all about that,
timber exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's more about the U value.
Okay. Cool. Well, should we go have a little look inside?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's
Let's do
check
it.
out the spray foam.
Yeah, see how it's going.
Cool. So Dave, we're in the shed.
We are.
We've got some nice what is to be it's hard now. So when did they start this job? Was it early today?
So they've started spraying just after 9 o'clock this morning, and we are at about 4 o'clock now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
but it goes hard like this within 10 minutes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so it's still a little bit pliable, probably up to 30 seconds afterwards. So they quite often overfill and scrape back just a little bit.
Oh yeah.
That's what I've been noticing.
And that's what they've been doing here. They've
Yeah.
just sprayed up
So
that base.
once it's sprayed in, there's always some overspray. You can't really avoid that. So they come back with a scraper and they scrape the studs clean, and we're good to go for JIT.
Yeah, cool. And you can see some cables in here, so
Yeah.
they've obviously done some
Yeah.
sort of rough bit out. Yeah. And then they'll come back later and do their fitting off.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, nice. You can see timber peelings above, so timber battens on the walls and throughout the roof,
Yep.
all for that R value that Dave just mentioned.
Exactly, and we can fully encapsulate steel, like we can see up here with the gable end truss.
Oh,
So
yeah,
the gable end
right
truss
in.
there is totally encapsulated.
Wow.
So one of the other cool things about that structural vent that we've done over the top of the framing is technically 40 mils of airspace is also a thermal break. So
Oh, yeah.
with steel framing, you have to do that 10 mil of poly.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can also do a 40 mil cavity, which we've done. We're just filling it up with foam
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's the cool thing. You can get into all the little places, can't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is the only sort of guaranteed way to fully properly insulate any building, really, but specifically steel frame.
Yeah, it's really cool. Obviously, it's looking at the plans prior to the building going ahead, seeing the things like this ventilation system, seeing the spray foam all in the plans. There's a lot of question marks in me about, what's this all about?
Yeah.
And seeing it in place, like the things you mentioned, make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And that rigid air barrier, it's not something that I was expecting to say. So that's
Yeah.
an element that's still a complete surprise.
Yeah. So like I was saying, this spray foam does a lot of jobs. The main one being insulate, obviously. It does like a rigid foam barrier.
Yeah.
It's airtight, so we haven't got that airtightness membrane that we need to put in. And once this is in place, it's also watertight, loosely watertight, but you can start lining once this product is in.
Yeah.
So you can start technically lining tomorrow.
We can put JIT in this room tomorrow. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I've just been around looking at some of these things. Normally, the frame is a little bit flexible, so it's as solid as buggery.
Well, that's it. It's essentially a SIPS panel.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, clearly you can tell that we don't just build sheds, we don't just build houses, we can do pretty much anything, This is a passive house, it's going to look like a house, it's not going to look like a shed, but it's still our products. It's pretty cool. So, come and see us, have a chat. We can do pretty much anything. Yeah, have
Yeah,
a
it's
chat.
definitely an interesting project. We're going to come back for episode 3, so thanks for joining us for episode 2. Episode 3, we're going to probably start to see some cladding on the walls.
Right.
We've got some interesting colours. So,
So we've gone with one of Colorsteel's newer colours, which is called 280, and that's our main colour. And then we've also got a winter colour of, I believe, mist green.
Yeah, that's great. So not colours that you see very often. I think it looks great in the models and things, so I'm excited to see it. So hopefully you are too. Join us for episode 3 in a few weeks' time.
Yeah.
Cheers guys. Thanks a
ya.
lot.